Kill the grass, go crazy drill. So coaches, 4 coaches came to talk to me. Great effort coming to talk to me. They all asked the same question, which is great. Does my stuff work for young people? Does it work for the youngest level? Well, again, here's what I'm doing. I would start with the game application. So say it's 3-on-3, and we're going to work on pivoting. I'm going to start with drive the ball. I'm going to throw it. Actually, let's do it. Here, put down your ball. Put down your ball. Come here. Go 3 on offense, 3 on defense. Go. 3 on offense, 3 on defense. Go. I know this doesn't matter. Okay, whoever I throw to, drive it. 2 dribbles, dead. Go. 2 dribbles, dead. Okay, hold. Now, I would do it in exactly that way, and I get it. Under 12, they're going to not look this pretty. That's cool. But initially, I want them to work on the thing that hurts them the most, which is pressure. Now, in whatever context, full court, half court, wherever, but drive the ball 2 dribbles, pick it up without a decision, dead. Now, what do? Let's start from that point. And then after we've talked about that and we've done that, maybe that's 2-3 minutes, maybe that's 4 minutes, just to let them experience driving it in dead and trying to figure it out. Because what are young kids going to do? They're all going to run to the ball. They're all going to run to the ball. And we're going to talk about what's the answer always on offense? There you go. They'll know that. They'll know the answer is always space. Because we're going to coach that every single minute is create space for your teammate. Now, once we've taught that, now we can go, ready? 2 dribbles, go, 2 dribbles. 1, 2, jump stop, pivot. Yeah, we can go in any pivoting drill you do. Yeah, it's not a great example, but you can do any 1-on-0 pivoting stuff you do. You can do dribble, Hall of Fame drill, we'd call it 4 corners, dribble, jump stop, pass. You can do any of that you want, but then we're going to go back and we're going to reconnect it to the game. So we're going to work on the skill stuff exactly the same way. We're just going to make sure we constantly connect it so it transfers. And that's one of the mindsets. So what they're doing, go back, kill the grass, switch partner, go. Kill the grass is, by the way, hold, look at my feet. Look at my feet. When I do a combo, I'm dancing. This is a footwork drill. It's not a dribbling drill. Your feet have to constantly be changing. Most of them when they did it, and this is what I'm talking about, most of them when they did it, their feet were always what we would call 1 or 2 wide. They didn't vary their feet. The ball very rarely got outside their body. Go. Change direction after every combo. Switch. Switch. Okay, hold. Now, this may be an example of ball handling I do with my team in practice, but probably not. As I've said to many coaches so far, shooting and ball handling is player-led development. We help them get better. We are an active participant in their development, but there's no great shooter or no great dribbler without them leading themselves outside of practice. So my challenge to every player is, if you want to be a better ball handler, who's that on? It's on you. Now I can create an environment, I can create opportunity, I can provide him with ideas of what to work on, but if I'm spending my practice time on-air dribbling, then we're taking away from the things that actually help them improve and win, which is perception, decision, skill, in my opinion. So I want to inspire them to lead themselves. So how do we do that? Well, give them homework. Why, school gives homework. Why? You got to have homework. I'm going to say, okay, who can, my under 12s, 3 times between your legs, who can do it best next practice? Go. We'll see you next practice. Catch you later. And then we'll see who can do it best. And the ones that really want to get better will be the ones that are practicing it, because hopefully you've created an environment where they want to improve. And then the part that goes with comfort and confidence, as I said already, is noticing progress. More we would do this. Partner off the ball. Ready? Go crazy. I'm your partner right now. Just go crazy. Go crazy. Go. What's he got to do? Good. Don't touch it with the other hand. Go. Everyone, go. Hold. Switch. Now, hey, we're working on this concept of peeking. Peeking. We don't have to stare at the player we're passing to, because it won't happen much in a game where you stare at the player you're passing to. Go. Just dribble. Just dribble. When you see the hands, pass. Hold. Hold. How many passes are we throwing from our chest inside our body? Monkey in the middle drills that we used to teach are the worst offensive drills in the history of basketball. Right here. Because this teaches bad offense, which is me standing 3 in a row with a partner. How do I help you? I move somewhere where we're not 3 in a row with a defender. So we want to do things that help them. Okay, get in groups of 3, steal the ball. So one player's trying to steal the ball as that player's dribbling. The other player's on the perimeter doing BDT, hands up. Hold, hold. Girls, guys, what's the answer? Go. No, you don't have to tell me, you just have to do it. Hold. Now, here's an example. If I taught my 5'8" player that every time he has to pass the ball, he has to jump stop and pivot, he would not have as many possible solutions in a realistic basketball situation. He just wouldn't. I have to give my players possibilities. So if someone's give it back. If he's jamming you as you're dribbling and you're trying to avoid him, and this player's temporarily open, what's the fastest way to get it to him? Outside your body, either behind, over, around, as opposed to chest pass from within your body. And again, this is players teaching us this. I didn't come up with this. I watched my players and said, all the stuff I was teaching them, they weren't using in a game. They weren't using in a game. How about zigzag on defense that we used to all teach? Have you ever watched your players? They don't do that. My players would get beat off the dribble all the time, and I'd be subbing them all the time. So they're smart enough to know, don't do what coach taught me. Do something that gets me not subbed, which is sprinting and recovering and keeping the ball in front. And that's ages ago that I learned that one watching them. So we would spend 0 time on something like that. But we would do this type of stuff right here, which is shaping their ability to be able to go back to 3-on-3. Ball, 3-on-3 right here. I got the ball. First catch has to drive the ball. 3-on-3. Get rid of your ball. First catch has to drive the ball and you're dead. But when you drive the ball right now, I want you to take one dribble in a direction and then change direction. So one dribble counter, then you're dead. Okay, now hold. Now we're coaching exactly what we just did in steal the ball with BDT, +1 with BDT, and we're going to talk about, okay, what can we connect from that drill that we just did? You just traveled. Doesn't make sense. What can we connect from that drill you just did to the game situation? Just you. I'm not talking about off the ball. What can you do? How do you create space? Right now you're creating no space. How do you create space? Help him. How can you create space? Pivot. Okay? Pivot. 3 wide. No wide, 1 wide, 2 wide, 3 wide. That's how we communicate distance and footwork. Nothing you do in basketball is at no wide. Nothing you do in basketball at no wide. So right now he would be 1 wide. 1 wide is shooting, maybe driving to score. But if you're trying to create space, what wide should you get? Okay, and where? Cool, could be. We define offensive advantage. Come here. Let's face this way so the coaches can see. Okay, BDT shooting. BDT shooting is hands up, hands down, step towards, jump to the side. There's more, but that's the basics. But let's connect that. Because again, I'm not doing my job as a coach if we do that and we don't connect it to the game. Let's connect it to the game. If a defender is arm length away from you, then you're going to pass or attack the closeout if it's a game situation. If the defender is more than arm length away from you, what are you going to do? Shoot. If you, give him the ball for a second. If you attack off the dribble and you get a shoulder to chest advantage, what should your next dribble do, or what happens right now? He should leverage advantage. Shoulder to chest is offensive advantage. Go back, take a dribble. Chest to chest is defensive advantage, so he needs to counter. He needs to counter. So our 4 decisions, what I feel are the only 4 decisions I need to teach players, come down to arm length or more than arm length in terms of the shoot, pass, drive decision, shoot, pass, drive decision, and then off the dribble, it comes back to shoulder to chest advantage or chest to chest advantage. And we define those, and they understand them. Come here. You're still here. Okay, you have a line right here to right here. It's imaginary. Get on that line. You can't move forward. You can't move backwards, but you can move anywhere you want on that line. I have the ball. I have to get across the line. Get across the line. Okay, hold. With my 8-year-old daughter, when I did this with her, I've never taught her any dribble moves. I haven't taught her anything. I just said, get across the line. Get across the line. So without, again, me doing much coaching, she, much like you, are able to figure out, first of all, what's your advantage? What's your advantage? Space. Awesome. Speed and space. Right? It's a Ben Simmons problem. You think if someone can't shoot, you shouldn't cover them. But what's the problem with not covering them is you give them space to build up speed. You can't cover Giannis if you give him space to build up speed. You should actually jam a non-shooter in that example, if they can really handle it. Well, your advantage here is space to build up speed. So try and beat him with speed. If you go one direction and he cuts you off, what advantage? No advantage, because it's what to what? Chest to chest. Chest to chest, we counter. Okay? Now, often, and my daughter did this, she got really close to me, and she didn't have what anymore? She didn't have space. You can't counter if you don't have space. So what's the solution? Is that it? Back up. Create space. So now we're shaping, in that context, skill, attack, shoulder to chest advantage, go, chest to chest advantage, counter, no space, we're in protection plan. Protection plan would be some type of, we call it a CP3, retreat dribble, some type of respacing dribble to be able to create space again, or it could be the Nash in that scenario. But we're connecting it back to the game right there in terms of that. So now, give him back the ball. Give him back the ball. Create space for yourself. No. You create space first. You went dead. You were denying. Create space. What's your advantage? What to what? What's his advantage? What to what? Shoulder to chest. So if he plants his foot and gets 3 wide in his shoulder to chest, he can create what on his pivot? Space. If he stands there chest to chest, like many young players do, they can't create space and they don't have advantage. So we tell players to create advantage, get shoulder to chest, and then either, again, if I have a live dribble, I can retreat, or I create advantage with a pivot. Well, isn't that the whole point of a pivot? It's to create space or to create an open window. If I'm attacking the basket and I'm going to go shoot at the basket, I don't want to shoot it against a closed window. I don't want to shoot it chest to chest. I want to shoot it in an open window, which would be shoulder to chest to the basket. So that's an example, maybe a little bit long-winded of that. Okay, give me, get 5 white on offense, 5 blue on defense. White ball, start right here. Somebody's got the ball right here. Let's go horns setup. So corners and horns right there. Ball starts on the other side of half. Okay, when she crosses half, you two just go under each other and enter it to one of the high posts. Cross, go under, just go under, boom, exchange, enter, screen the weak side, horns, right there, screen the weak side, horns up, pop out, get the ball, pop out. You're coming all the way through, and you're going to set the shuffle screen or back screen right here, right there. Obviously, we're going to try and reverse the ball, and then she's going to try and score. Okay, go back, run the whole thing. Exchange, go. Okay, hold. Recreate, go back to the cut. Okay, 5-on-5 slow learning, in my opinion, is better than 5-on-0 fast learning. 5-on-5 slow learning, or if you're younger, it's 3-on-3. 5-on-5 slow learning. So I just have I taught you guys, did we spend an hour before practice on that play? Now, don't get me wrong, it's messy, it's ugly, it's not good. But that's part of learning, by the way. You're terrible at something before you're good at it. So that's all going to be a part of it. But I just taught them a play, let's call it Australia 1, and away we go. Now, here's the advantage of doing 5-on-5 slow learning. It's not full intensity. But right now, you came to set the screen. Come back here. If you come to set the screen and she's below you like that, should you set the screen? What could you do? Yeah, you could present yourself. You would want her to cover you. Now, we can also talk, and here's the other advantage of coaching with a games approach. You don't coach enough games. You don't coach enough games to get as good as you need to be as a game coach. So where do you get more game reps? If you coach offense versus defense in practice. I coached thousands of games in my lifetime because I coached almost every practice at the college level 5-on-5. Well, at the younger levels, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5, doesn't have to be 5-on-5, but offense versus defense and me coaching both makes me a better game coach because that's how we play the game. I can't isolate one from the other in a game. So we try and always give context. The other advantage of slow learning 5-on-5 is I am coaching the defense. I would be like, wait a minute, don't you have to be ball side? Where would you be right now? Because right now we would have difficulties, right? So she's ball side. What's your responsibility? What? Where's the ball? Yeah, you got base help, but what's your responsibility? Because you're not stopping the drive. What are you stopping? The lob. Like you got lob help. She's got baseline drive. So we could talk relative to, we would say, who's your closeout? Who's your closeout? And what's your responsibility? Cheat. Ball's there. Ball's there, right? So we would actually talk on the weak side. We would call this a cheat step. As soon as the ball got past there, I would sprint in for like a half second and then get out. Do you know why I get back out? Because she doesn't want to pass to the post. That's one thing we know about human nature. Nobody wants to pass it inside. So I'm going to act like I'm there for a second, and now she's not going to look again. And then I can get back out. So those are cheat steps. So I can talk about that in the context, whether it's young or old. I can talk about I might not get that in depth, obviously, with younger, but I can talk about their responsibility on defense as much as offense. Now you come set the back screen. If my dude doesn't jump to the ball, right, then what are you going to cut? Just straight face cut. And then we got a chance. Either we force a switch or we play from there. Go back, recreate. If you jump to the ball, okay, 47, you're ready, right? What's your responsibility now on this cut? Okay, it might be baseline drive, but it might be the cut too. You have back screen help, so cut. Say you get caught in, hold. What's wide open? How do you make that wide open? You lift. They can't see that 5-on-0 no matter how much we talk about 5-on-0. They can't see it unless the defense is on the floor. But at the same time I'm giving them offensive solutions, they better be thinking about defensive solutions. So if it's 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, I'm going to teach them together at the same time. Okay, go back, recreate, run the whole play, ready, go. Pause. Okay, this is something you need to add to everything you do. Run one play. You can run one play probably all year with just different entries and stuff, but add pause. Pause is this. When I call Australia 1 pause, it means as soon as we're at the point of the screen here, we're going to all act like we're running the play, but all we're doing is everyone's pausing. What have we set up right now for you to do? Drive it. Pause leads to ISO. Pause leads to an ISO. Get the ball on top. Okay, say we're pause 2. I don't know, you can come up with your own terms. Pause 2 is you're going to go set the screen before. He's going to pause it on top, stop, pause. What have we set up? Say you're denied. We'd run it against denial. We'd pause on top pause. What have we set up? Back door. So I add a pause to anything I run. I can isolate a player or I can set up a back door. I don't need a special play. I can run a pause. Okay, get the ball on top. Get 2 people at the rim in a stack and 2 people out on the wing on a stack. So get on that side right there, stack together. You 2 come over here, stack together right here. We would never start a half-court rep at half-court. Why? Well, against the teams you're going to beat, it doesn't matter where you practice. Against good teams, they're not going to let us start our possession at the 3-point line. So we would always start on the other side of half because probably, if not full court, if not 3-quarter court, usually good teams are going to pick up at half court to try and distort the offense. So we would always start it from there. Okay, you guys face the rim though, kind of like you're going to set a double screen. Side by side, side by side. Cool. Now, you're my player. By the way, a lot of you coach sometimes players that you want to hide. This is called hide. It's also called empty. Pause, hide, empty. These are some of the trends that I've seen in the world that help us as basketball coaches. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring it, and as soon as I get to the line of deployment, which is half court, I'm going to misdirect and try and bait you this way, go, and then I'm going to change. As soon as I change, let's say high, go off that side, low, go to the corner. What have I created? Empty means we empty players to create space to be able to drive to score. Empty. We're hiding players because if you 2 are, and this is with respect, if you 2 aren't smart enough to drop one in and one out, and you both stand there with them, then you're going to lose. And that's good for us. Right? But you see that all the time. I'll show you another one. Take the ball out of bounds right there. 2 of you go back in the stack right there and come right here. You're my guy right now. Actually, you come in here too, please. You stand there. All right, you guys go right there. Sideline inbound. Go stand right at the corner. Right here. This is an international play that I saw. The greatest thing in the world is to find ways to make basketball 3-on-3 when it's 5-on-5. So all that happened here is 47. It doesn't matter right now. Just you 2 getting a little bit of stack, you face him. You 2 get a little bit closer right now. Okay, just like that. No, you just don't act like just act like you're not doing anything. Right? You guys are so literal. Okay, so you're going to go there. You're going to come here. Right here, you're going to go to the corner there, you're going to come here. Pass goes here. What have you got? What have you got?
Space.
Oh, thank you. I just want to be besties with everyone. Space. So it just, if they're going to be dumb enough to cover up here, then you're going to create an advantage. That type of thing. So thinking about ways within the plays you run right now to create empty, pause, and hide. Empty, pause, and hide. These are trends in all the plays I share on Twitter. These are trends that I see. Really smart coaches are just doing this within the stuff they do. Now go back, obviously. Give the ball right here. Say he denies you. If he denies you, what can you create? Awesome. Keep coming. If he denies you, keep coming. Because what have we created now? 2-on-2. 2-on-2. So either direct or corner in play. Right? It's amazing some of the things that you can think about if you think about pause, empty, and hide, and play out of that. Okay? Those things. All right, I had to give you some 5-on-5 stuff and be able to play. Okay, everyone go shoot a free throw. Go shoot a free throw. 2 free throws, go. 2 free throws, go. Okay, hold. Okay, we shot 2 free throws. 3-on-1 transition. If you score, 2 back. If you score, 2 back. If you miss, 1 back. 3-on-1 transition. Go. Somebody should have came in. Hold. Anyways, this is what I told them at the beginning. It's not about them. I'm not going to coach them. But do you get it? What did we add to add desirable difficulty? +1. So you add a +1 now, and they also have to think, which is obviously why it's messy and ugly. On a score, 2 back, the shooter and the passer. I would tell them that if it's younger kids. If it's older kids like this, I would just see if they could figure it out. And they come up with a solution. And if they don't, then I give them a solution. But if I give them all the answers right away, I take away their opportunity to think. Okay, 3-on-1 transition. We have to shoot a 3. We have to shoot a 3. That's your constraint. Go. Hold. So, anyways, 2 people should have got back, right? You guys know. You're sitting up there cringing too. It's all good. You get the idea. We add a constraint and we say, this has to happen before this has to happen. This has to happen before this has to happen. Anyways, this is also an example of how I feel basketball practice should be run. I didn't do this for 10 minutes at the beginning of practice. Say I did this for 5 minutes at the beginning of practice, but then I come back to it later in practice. The value of that is to test for retention. The goal of transfer directly relates to retention. Basketball practice typically goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, catch you later. I want basketball practice to go A, B, G, E, F, A, B, C, B, and I want to constantly mix it. Well, we know this already. I don't have to teach you this. You know mixing leads to retention. Because almost all of us, at some point, some of us more than others, have memorized and regurgitated, threw up information, and got through a course, got through school, by just memorizing something and throwing it up on the paper. What happens 2 weeks later? You don't remember it. That's how often we coach basketball. We teach them a pattern, and then every day we ask them to remember the pattern. Well, we want to constantly add things to make them think. And that's why we want to constantly add defense, change the constraints, so every day in practice, even if we do this 3-on-1 drill, every day in practice, there's different constraints and different things that cause them to have to think. because I don't want them to have to memorize. Okay, let's go white on top, blue right here. Get blue up here, white up here. Go, white up here, let's go. White, run Australia 1. White, run Australia 1. Blue, get up here. 5-0, white, run Australia 1. Go. White, 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 white. 5-0, go. Australia 1. Just white. I know. Okay, hold. So this is 5-on-5, but this applies to any drill you do. If I want to build comfort and confidence and make myself feel good, which is also part of comfort and confidence, right? To make it seem like they know what they're doing, or to show the parents that they know what they're doing, I'll go 5-on-0. Look, okay, we just did 1 rep of 5-on-0. Okay, now blue run it, 5-on-0. Now white run it, 5-on-0. Now go full court, cross each other, 5-on-0. Okay, we do that for like 2 minutes so that they know the pattern. Knowing the pattern helps with creativity. Being comfortable with something leads to more creativity. So that's where block practice, that's where on-air reps help. I just wouldn't spend much time on it. And I wouldn't start with it. I would just reconnect it when I need to. Okay, say, okay, hop on 1 foot, hop on 1 foot, hop, hop, hop. Say they were struggling with their footwork. At any point in practice, I can say hop on 1 foot. Okay, if it's just one person screwing it up, hop on 1 foot. Hop on 1 foot. You got to fight for your feet. Remember, that helps you be a better player because feet first on offense. I can reconnect things constantly at any point in practice. I use coaching interventions just like you use. The point is, we're trying to do it within the context and not take time away from perception, decision, execution of skill. Now, if it's more than one person, usually 3 or 4 people, then I'll do the intervention with everyone. If it's just 1 or 2 people, the intervention is just with them. And we can do the intervention that way. But we're trying to constantly reconnect. And then the next time you make a shot, full reversal in the corner, you make a 3, I'll say, hey, that's what we worked on. That's what we worked on. If she doesn't say it, I'll say it to her. And I'll say, that's what we worked on. Because I want her to value practice because it helps her be better in the game. That's the whole goal of everything that we try and do here. All right, let's go get in the corner there, get on the 45 there, get on the top here. Get 3 people on defense. You start with the ball. You're going to be a coach. You look like a coach. Let's go. It's a great thing. Okay, match up over here. This is a static start. We probably wouldn't start this way. So we can play 3-on-3. But here's what I'm talking about decision making. Remove one of you. Come here, bestie. Get out of there. Okay, now, we have to cover the top, and then we have to cover one of the other 2 other players. We're not covering the coach. There's a general rule in life, don't cover the coach. Okay? Pass goes to the top. Now, we are in end action of flow. End action of flow. So you can initiate a handoff, you can cut, you can replace, or you can screen. You can do literally anything you want right now. The point is, when we try and stimulate execution of skills within decision-making situations, we want to create an advantage so the passer can read the advantage, execute the skill that leads to the advantage, but also the defender can try and blow up the advantage. I talk about defensive decision-making more than I talk about offensive decision-making in my practice because I want her to think about how can she screw up this play, right? And a good defender, which she would be, of course, will start to bluff and fake and do some of the things that we try and coach within shell drills by doing it naturally, just figuring out how to blow up a play. So let's say you're right up, you're in the pack there, cut. Now, how about if you go with him a step and then recover? What does she then probably quit looking at? So we can think about different things like that. Okay, anyways, go back, start, I'll just show it. Okay, 47, start at the rim and 47 on the top, player on the top. Start at the rim and flash up to the top. Okay, and then we're live. Go. Live. Okay, hold. hold, recreate, go back 19, you got the ball in the ball screen. No, you were outstanding. So we now can talk about things within the context, whatever you emphasize. Say we're pick and pop. Where should you create the most space right now if you're going to pick and pop? Where do you need to get to? The farthest possible spot from the ball, right? Which is what? We call it the Danny Green spot because you can get paid a lot of money to just stand in the corner and make threes. So we call it the Danny Green spot. So run all the way to the corner. And then, I don't know, 2 or 3, what's worth more? Again, I don't know if we're into analytics with his team, but just by a little more effort, if you got to the corner, you get paid more. Pretty good, right? Because you stopped inside 3. So we can coach things within the context. But that's how we would break down any type of offense we run. We would never break it down probably 3-on-0. We would break it down 3-on-2, 4-on-2, 5-on-2, 5-on-1. In fact, as we go through the season, we would almost never do on air. We'd always do almost 5-on-1 or 5-on-2. Just by adding one defender, we add distracting information and visual stimuli that leads to better perception action coupling in that process. Okay, go. You guys are on offense. Go 4 spots on offense. You 4 get on the baseline. Go. And then you 4 go right here. Go 4 spots matched up. I know we don't have 3 teams. We're 4 around the perimeter. So here, let's make it easy. Get 4 whites on defense, 4 blue on, and then the extras out of bounds. Okay, shell drill. So ball there, swing it, jump to the ball, jump to the ball, jump to the ball, jump to the ball, swing it, switch. Defense to offense, go, switch, go, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, the other team from out of bounds, come in. Team from out of bounds, come in. Let's go, go. Offense, defense, offense, off. Or defense, offense, offense, off. See, I never teach rotation. Like, it's great, actually. And this is, maybe you can't do it with young kids as much, but if I have players, which I do, newcomers to our program, and we don't teach rotation, we don't sub, and my veterans never want to sub out. They want to play basketball in practice. So they don't want to sub out. So if you're out of bounds for like 10 minutes, I come over to you and say, how's practice going for you? You enjoying it? Having fun? You know, and we're trying to build this mindset of saying, if you want to play, you got to learn how to sub in on your own. You got to figure out rotation. You got to lead and follow and sort some things out for themselves and that type of idea. But it does take a little bit of time. But again, we constantly encourage, hey, lead and follow. That type of thing. Okay, so shell. Traditional shells. Let's say now pass, reversal, ball screen. Weak side player sprinted, set a ball screen. Swing it. Swing it. One more. Now we're in ball screen shell. Go. Weak side player, what are you guys going to do? Form a 2 side, get off the top. Ball screen shell. Go. Bump. Okay, good. Pass, score, whatever. Switch. Rotate. Full reversal. Full reversal. Now, hold. Weak side player, as soon as they're full reversal, sprint in, come set a UCLA back screen for the top. Set a back screen for the top. 42, you're going to use the screen. Cut, back screen, cut, pop, play. Okay, so shell is, we'll just say we're 4, we're ball screen, or we're back screen. Now, so we've taught them, those aren't shells necessarily, but any type of shells that you teach, we spend 1 practice on the shell. 4-on-4, jump to the ball. The next 4-on-4, pass and cut. 4-on-4, back screen. But then once we've taught those initially, what we want to do is put them more in the context of the game. So now with any shell that we've taught, we mix them. We'll randomize them. At any point now, we'll call any of the shells. So whether it's a coach out of bounds or the players, ideally, lead yourselves out of bounds and decide when you're on offense what shell you're going to run. Passing, let's say, 4-round pass, back screen, or wing. And we mix it. So that's a way to be able to stimulate decision-making, to make them a little bit uncomfortable, and to create a little bit more random practice in terms of those ideas and those things that go with it. Okay? I'm probably running out of time. I would say 2 free throws, go 2 free throws, blah, blah, blah. Here's the 2 free throws before you get up, Tony. Free throws are impossible, in my opinion, to transfer to the game. Any free throw thing we do essentially is completely different than the game. So I'm not saying don't work on free throws. But here's the thing. In a game, free throws are the one time where a player's attentional focus is very broad. When I'm playing 4-on-4, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, my attentional focus is very narrow. Because there's so much going on and I'm so immersed in what's happening that my attention is very focused. When I go to the free throw line, all of a sudden I am very broad in my focus because I'm very aware now that everyone's looking at me, and that's me shooting a free throw with everyone watching. That is really hard to simulate. What we've tried to do, and we've done this for a year, we've done blocked free throw shooting, chart it. We found no correlation between practice free throw percentage and game free throw percentage. As you can imagine, practice free throw percentage was much higher for bad free throw shooters. For good free throw shooters, it didn't matter. In practice, it was good. In games, it was good. For bad ones, it was good in practice. It was bad in the game. So that told me that it wasn't physical. It told me that it was mental, psychological. So from there, we had to develop a strategy to help players and reinforce their coping strategies, their breathing, their visualization, whatever you teach to help them, their routine. So what we did is we started to randomize free throws. At any point in practice, any one of my coaches or myself can call 2 free throws. They go shoot 2 free throws immediately. They tell the coach their score, make 1 or 2 or none, and then we get right back into what we were. It's not at the end of a drill. It's not when we get water. It literally can be we're in the middle of a 5-on-5 trip and a coach will just yell free throw. Assuming you have enough rings, everyone goes and shoots a free throw. We get right back and we continue again. It applies to when I'm losing my mind and I'm yelling at them and my assistant will yell, 2 free throws. Everyone goes and shoots 2 free throws. I stop my rant. They come back and then I continue my rant again. It's a way to be able to randomize the practice. What we found is that correlated more directly to game free throw percentage. And it gave us a better blueprint to be able to help the players that needed the coping strategies and work on those more. I'm just here to stimulate your thinking. I'm not necessarily right about anything. That's the beautiful thing. But what I am is someone who's deeply thought about these things, and I hope a way that backs it up with evidence-based ideas. This isn't just stuff that I created. This is stuff that's based on research. And then my obsession with research is to determine how to make that practical. Because so much research is just very impractical for us as coaches. Please, let's give them a big hand because go have a seat for a second. But it's really hard to do clinics, especially when it's not about them. It's about you. So if I can ever be of service to you, at B-Ball Immersion is my Twitter. Instagram is just Basketball Immersion. Obviously, if you go to Basketball Immersion, IMMERSON, the webpage, there's a contact form. If I can ever be of service, reach out to me. The basketball podcast, I meant to look up the numbers before because I just talked about it with Tony. When I went to Sweden, it was #1 in Finland. They didn't like that. I should have looked up what it was in New Zealand. But anyways, thank you tremendously for the support of the podcast as well. Australia is by far, and listen, let me say something really nice about you guys too. I have known about this for a long time because of what you guys do. You put this up on YouTube. So I've known about this. Just some dude in Canada knows about this. And I know a lot of coaches in Australia have talked to me about, oh, they watch my stuff, or they watch Basketball Manitoba stuff, or they watch the stuff that we put out there. You know what? I want you to know that coaches in North America are watching your Australian coaches and how you guys share stuff as well. Like, it's exactly the same. My members of Basketball Immersion know who Peter is, they know who Damien Cotter is, they know who Patrick Hunt is, and the list goes on and on. Because we watch your stuff too. So I can't thank you enough for letting me share with you, but thank you for sharing with us as well. And if you could, I know Tony's not a big social media guy, but there must be some hashtags or something from this. The best thing you can do for basketball in Australia is to continue to support it by celebrating things like this. And if you hashtag or you tweet at B-Ball Immersion a picture or anything or something, and you tag me, I will make sure I retweet it to the world. So we continue to celebrate what you do, because you do an outstanding job in Australia, and that's why I'm humbled to be here, and I hope you continued success. Thank you.
Chris, thank you very much. I'm just going to explain a little bit of Chris's schedule. He flew in at lunchtime today. He's flying out at 5:15 tomorrow. He's offered to step off the plane and go and do another instruction lesson for everybody in Australia. So we thank you very much, Chris. It's very much appreciated. I'm sure people got a lot out of it. We will put all the stuff on YouTube. We will put it up there on our website, and we'll grab all the links to Chris's immersion site as well, so that you can explore and chat online further down the track. We still have a little bit of time, not a lot of time, but there's more time if you want to talk and ask questions out in the Sky Lounge, so we can go at it from there. All right, thanks very much, everybody. Cheers.
Sorry.
Chris wants to go again.
My bad. If you're a member of Basketball Immersion too, we want to get a picture together. I know there's a few of you here, so I combed my hair for it. Let's do it.